Good morning, everybody. This is Corky Alexander, and I welcome you to my home where I am in the process of going through training and on the sitar. And I wanted to give a short talk about what is a cultural immersion. Um, Most of you know that I teach world religions and intercultural studies in college, have done so for a number of years. And during that time, I participated in two particular cultural immersions, which had to do with Native Americans. The first one that I was involved in was, uh, I believe it was Cherokee, North Carolina, with an organization called AMERC, which is the Appalachian Ministries Resource Center. And they did a cultural immersion on the eastern band of the Cherokee Indians Reservation in North Carolina, Cherokee, North Carolina. The second one that I was a co facilitator in was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with the Sioux Falls Seminary, and this one took place on the Rosebud Reservation of the Lakota people, and did that one a number of times as I participated in students coming to live on the Indian reservation for a week or so and participating in the learning of Native American culture. Now, most people involved with the church are familiar with mission trips. And this is a traditional thing that has gone on for a long time. Uh, and the way it goes is you sign up for a mission trip, and there will be a trip leader, and you will go to some other country or other location and become involved in some type of benevolence work or building work. Sometimes they do a vacation Bible school uh, and other, like, you know, work, painting, construction. I was in Honduras a number of years ago, and we built a medical clinic. So this was one of the functions of those mission trips. What I'm talking about, though, is something quite different than the typical mission trip that a church might undertake, and that is the actual going and learning. So, we will say today that a cultural immersion is, first of all, an integration of yourself into that culture so that you join in a friendly way with the people of that culture. So, integration is the first part of a cultural immersion. The second part is the interaction with the members of that culture. And this results in, number three, an understanding or a better understanding of that people group. And so, presently in my musical training in Indian classical music, I am integrating myself into this. This is like I'm 70 years old and I'm taking on this project. And as I'm learning this instrument, I'm learning parts of Hindi language. Uh, I'm learning about the spirituality of the music, and I'm actually becoming a sitar player. Now, I've just got started at this, so all of it's foreign to me, but this is my project late in life. I knew I was going to have to do something to keep my body, uh, you know, limber, so I can walk and get around, because when you get older, you get real stiff. So getting down the floor and sitting cross-legged like I am right now is a real challenge for a 70-year-old man, especially one who's never really done much physical activities. Uh, so this is the way that I am participating in a cultural immersion. I'm integrating myself into this music, and it's easy for me to do because of uh, my previous uh, knowledge about Hinduism and Indian classical music through the Beatles. And this has been a part of my culture all my life, ever since I was in grade school. And I'll tell you that all through this experience, there is a presence uh, of George Harrison in all of this, and it's been very, very inspiring and encouraging and fun. And so I have to move my body. I have to get my legs stretched. I have to ask my youngest daughter, who's a marathon runner, to teach me the stretch exercises. And so I find myself being able to sit in the floor for longer periods of time the more I do it. When I began my training up in Wisconsin, it was very, very painful, and I was embarrassed and everything. So, but you get over that. So what I'm encouraging today is for you, and you can do this with any culture of people that you don't know or understand. And you know what we teach is you listen to understand, not to respond. While church mission trips and mission agency trips are very positive and they expose people to the culture, uh, what is more ideal is a cultural immersion. Because if you're going to do a vacation Bible school, or you're going to give out clothes and food, and uh, you know, and if you attempt to like preach to these people or whatever, then you're not learning about them. You're listening to your own Euro American culture talk. In order to listen to them, what would be good would be to have them prepare the food, not you haul all your food over there, but to eat their food and learn about their culture through their food, possibly their music, uh, possibly their literature, and let them tell you about their life. We usually had one day where there would be a cultural historian, a historian from the tribe or the culture, to get up and talk. And then the second day we would have, you know, maybe a social worker from within that context get up and talk. We would have the grandmas and the aunties, you know, cook the food, and we would get to taste all the food. When I was in Wisconsin for 9 days recently, beginning my sitar training, I ate, other than white sticky rice, every dish that I ate I had never eaten before in my life. And so this is happening for me, and it can happen for you as well. But you eat their food, listen to their history, let them tell you about their culture, and then possibly in their culture they would do like cultural demonstrations like dance or music, and you can learn that way. I'm an old hippie, so this is a very familiar thing for me. Uh, my people of the Woodstock Nation, they did this all over the world, became world travelers. And so this is a way to impact uh, and to change tourism into actually friendship. Uh, Many church mission trips are primarily tourism. And if you want to learn about the downside of tourism, you can read Mark Twain's books, because he wrote a number of books about traveling abroad, The Tramp Abroad, so forth, where he talks about the blunders of Europeans as they go into other cultures, particularly the Far East and indigenous cultures. Uh, I think this solves a majority of the problems of the world at this time in history because racism is based on ignorance. And the more understanding we can come to uh, about other people, particularly indigenous people, particularly in the United States, coming to understand the Hispanic American reality, we can solve a lot of the world's problems because the Hispanic American worldview is quite different than a Euro American worldview. And the way you do this is by integrating yourself into the culture, actually participate in things, uh, to interact with the people, uh, learn about their lives, let them tell you, and then thirdly, you will come to an understanding of people other than yourself, and it will inspire your life. And one thing that we find in the church is that many of these other cultures outside the United States, there's certain practices that they have that are more Christian than ours. One in particular, the time I spent, maybe 15 years with Native Americans, they have what they call a giveaway. And it is that during the memorial for a deceased loved one, the grieving family actually gives gifts to the community, and the community does not bring gifts to them. And this is quite backwards from the European practice. It's quite inspiring, and when you see it happen and you learn about how that works, you say to yourself, well, you know, Jesus said it's more blessed to give than to receive. Uh, you find out there may be cultures that are getting that done more effectively than the one that you're raised in. So, culture and immersion. Hope that's a help to somebody.